Hello and welcome to another edition of the Saintly Sounder, your source for all things FIFA. Today I'm temporarily back from my hiatus to bring you a review of one Italian player, a player I wasn't sure I was going to like, a player who maybe gets underlooked, a player who is currently going for the absolute minimum that EA has determined his price band for. Today is the review of IF Candreva. Let's see how he did. Alright, so up first is the squad I used him in. You can see it's a very tasty hybrid with Alaba and Boateng on the left, with Chiellini and De Siglio, and then a Juve midfield with De Rossi as well, and then Shawari, Balotelli, and then of course Candreva at 5'11" with 4 stats over 80, 1 stat close to 80, and a defensive stat that ranks tops amongst wingers. Candreva is a truly unique player. He's got decent strength, great stamina, and then good pace and amazing long shots as well. In 13 games, he scored 7 goals and 5 assists, which is really good coming out of the winger spot. I probably shouldn't even have to mention it, but Candreva is very good at long shots, much more so even than his not in form. I mean, he just can sink an opponent. You give him any space on that right wing, hold left trigger, aim for the far post, and it's probably going in. He's lights out there. I feel like whatever issues he had as his not in form of maybe missing wide far too often seems to be fixed here with his in-form card. Alright, in-form Candreva is also more than just a long shooter. He's also a very good passer as well. He's going to complete a lot of your passes. He's going to create a lot as well, as evidenced by an assist every other game. Coming from the wing slot in a team that was hurting for offense, Candreva's production really shines. He might not be the highest goal tally scorer, but he is one of the most active players on the field. The other thing that I think is going to get overlooked from Candreva is his silky smooth touch. When combined with his strength, it is really deadly. And then if your opponent just can't adjust for that, you can hit a scoop turn and do just that. I mean, and he's got the little troll face there after he scores. But Candreva's so good. Just use his skill moves to create space, use his skill moves to create shots, use his skill moves to create crosses. I mean, he can really do just about everything you'd want him to do. And speaking of his crosses were good in FIFA 14. They are also very good here in FIFA 15. As you can see, he's going to whip the ball in here to the big head of Mackinock, who is never going to miss. Candreva's crosses are silky smooth. He's got 88 crossing, I believe, very good for a player, and you can normally, as long as you're not trying crazy off-balance crosses, he will find the head of the man. It's really up to them to win the header because Candreva will put it on the ball. Again, though, a thing that really impressed me, and this is coming from someone who used Quadrado, was Candreva's silky touch. I didn't really expect him. His not in form could suffer from a little bit of clunkiness at times, but late in games, Candreva can just dice up opponents before whipping in a cross, and your opponent has to respect the ability to run down the line with Candreva. It's not too often that you get a player like that who can not only whip in a cross, which is Quadrado's main weakness, but also a player who can pop a shot or just dribble the whole end line and put it in. And finally, I'm going to end with what I found to be the biggest improvement over his not-in-form card, and that's the ability to finish, because his dribbling and pace were always pretty decent, but here, he finally fixed the problem of him missing easy chances. He can finish much better now with his in-form. I mean, he got a big shooting upgrade, and it really does show. The shot power makes up for his still somewhat low finishing and makes him much more of a complete player. Alright, so here's the final breakdown for in-form Candreva. I give him a very high score, an 8.7 out of 10. I never in my wildest dreams thought I'd be giving him this high of a rating. I just wasn't as impressed with his not-in-form card, but his in-form was truly a shock, a standout player, and a player you can feel confident with in your squad, especially if Quadrado's already taken. On the breakaway front, he gets an 8.8 out of 10. He can stay away from a lot of people. Perhaps he doesn't have the speed to sprint by all of the fastest, but I would say late in games is where he starts to inflict. He feels like he's got 99 stamina, no joke. He can run the end lines for days. All 90 minutes he can terrorize your opponent down the wing. Also, he seems to get in the right position as well. He just reads through balls so well. He's going to get in behind your back line, which I appreciate it so much. I think that must be the positioning stat because it's just so much better than his not in form. Inside the box, as I mentioned, although he still can occasionally miss, and that's down to his 75 finishing, his shot power makes up for it. It makes him a much better player than his not in form. He's going to convert a lot more chances for you. A very solid winger, a decent option at right forward as well. A good player. Outside the box, 9 out of 10. Very, very good from long range. I mean, really, though, this is another one of those players up there with Perisic and Royce and some of the legends that can literally score from 50 on in. Hold left trigger, aim for the far post, and celebrate. Go for power. You don't need to go for placement. Just go for power, and you will score. His skill runs, as you saw, he's very silky smooth on the ball. Something you don't see from too many in-form cards. Something you didn't see too much with his not-in-form. His dribbling is silky. 4-star skill moves means you can skill with him quite well. His agility, strength, pace, and late-game ability to create chances for himself are really invaluable. His assisting for others is very good as well. He can play the dime ball whether or not you messed up. I mean, he just has a sixth sense about playing the right ball. He created 5 assists in 13 games, which is pretty good from a wing spot. Again, this team kind of struggled on offense, and really Candreva was a spark plug, even more so than Royce, I would say. He's just a player that can really take it from your third to your opponent's third without losing possession, something that's really valuable in almost any team. And then lastly, his heading, he is 5'11", which is tall for a winger. He's strong for a winger as well, but don't expect him to win headers. Do yourself a favor. Candreva is a person who whips in the crosses. He doesn't take them. He should be on your free kicks. He has 94 penalty kicks as well, but he should be the guy that whips in the crosses, not the one that heads it. Better than Cuadrado, but not better than really a true taller guy. Overall, though, a great buy, a great bargain, and definitely a steal at his minimum price even right now. I highly, highly recommend Candreva. As always, if you found this all interesting or helpful, like and subscribe. I'm on Twitch at the Saintly Sounder and on Twitter at the Red Death 329. This review was a little shorter. I didn't really have a squad that could fit with him very well. As I mentioned, Candreva was the shining light of every team I put him in. It's just unfortunate that Italy doesn't have too many striker options outside of Balotelli, who I'm not a huge fan of. But overall, I recommend you try him out. He pleasantly surprised me, and I think he'll pleasantly surprise you as well. Until next time, see you on the pitch.